Thanks so much, Dirk. We want to go right out now to Mariposa, where they are giving an update on that air tanker crash as well as a firefighting effort in Yosemite.
Another piece this morning between 10 and 11 a.m. If you would like to, right before you get to the park entrance, there is a pull-off spot where I think many of you are going live. If you're set up there, you will be able to see between 10 and 11 the body of the pilot being taken off and brought back down. So there will be an opportunity. So we'll start off this morning with a brief statement from Don Neubacher from the Yosemite National Park. He is the superintendent. Don.
Thank you very much. What I'd like to express this morning is my condolences to CAL FIRE and the family. As most of you know, this was a horrific event that occurred yesterday, and on behalf of the Park Service and also the wildfire community, we want to express our deepest sympathy to the family. And we'll talk a little bit more about the fire, but I think at this point in time, the most important thing is to get the body recovered off the hillside and pay respect to this individual that died doing his public service here in Yosemite National Park. And I do want to introduce Kelly Martin, who's the FMO for Yosemite National Park, and she wants to say a few words too.
Good morning. It's with deep sadness on behalf of the wildland fire community. I wish to express my sincere and deep condolences to CAL FIRE, the wildfire community, and to the family of the pilot that lost his life yesterday. We have many brave women and men on the fire lines even today that I'm hoping that we all keep your thoughts with them for their safe and effective conclusion to the Dog Rock fire. Thank you.
Darren Mills, the Deputy Chief of Operations for the Yosemite National Park, will now give an update on the fire itself. So, Chief.
Good morning. Yesterday I was the incident commander at the time of the incident with the air tanker that went down, and I managed the fire until sometime late last night. And what I thought I'd do is move over here to the map and give you a brief overview of what our overall strategy was yesterday, what progress we made, and what our tactics are for today. So bear with me. Not sure how that'll work with the map.
Any chance we move the map closer to the microphone?
Yeah. Good idea.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Speak up. Can you speak into the mic so we can hear you?
I'll do my best. So just to give you a few reference points, this is the main fork of the Merced River here, and the El Portal Road that runs along it, which is an extension of Highway 140, if you will, into the park. So that essentially is the bottom end of our fire. On the top end of the fire is a community of Foresta. It's approximately, don't quote me, 60 homes or so. It is an area that is prone to fire. It's had one that has threatened it already earlier this year. It is currently evacuated, and that was our highest priority for protection when we developed our strategy yesterday. The fire was moving with the wind up canyon from the west to the east, and our priority was to start up the left flank of the fire with direct fire line and retardant to buy us time to get troops in on the ground and hold that side of the fire. We were able to make some progress prior to the aircraft going down, and at that time that established some new fire, and we had to pull everybody out and off the line on the left flank. On the right flank, we moved up ahead of the fire to a rock scree slope at Archrock entrance station, and we were able to cut the brush out of that scree slope and tie it into a rock band. So hopefully that will remain our east perimeter and end of the fire. Up here on the Foresta side, we've got an old dozer line that was used during the Big Meadow fire in 2009, and we were able to put a hand line in there, and it runs across the ridge top down here to an area called Foresta Falls. And so that was completed last night. And with today's operations, hopefully we're going to be able to tie that box together, and essentially we'll have loose or shaky containment, if you will, around the fire. However, that will need to be burned out at a future time, maybe starting as early as tonight to meet our containment objectives. And just once again, I want to reiterate that our highest priority was to provide structure defense for the community of Foresta, and hence the aggressive attack that we made yesterday, both on the ground and by aircraft, both rotor wing and fixed wing. With that, I guess we'll take questions after, so thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Chief. We'll turn it over now to Director Ken Pemlott, the Chief of CAL FIRE, to talk more about the accident itself. So, Chief.
Thank you and good morning. So just a brief timeline of events relative to the crash yesterday. Just before 4:30 p.m. yesterday afternoon, we lost contact with CAL FIRE Tanker 81, based out of our Hollister Air Attack Base in San Benito County. Tanker 81 had been assigned to fight the Dog Rock fire here in Yosemite National Park. Once contact was lost with the aircraft, an immediate accountability process was put into place. Yosemite National Park search and rescue crews were sent to the last known location where they confirmed the wreckage of the plane. Rescuers continued searching for the pilot in dense vegetation and steep terrain well into the evening. And just driving up here this morning, I think everyone can recognize the difficult terrain that not only this fire is in, but where this aircraft went down. And again, I cannot say enough about the National Park Service, particularly the staff here at Yosemite and their search and rescue crew, because they were not going to give up last evening as darkness fell in this very difficult terrain until they were able to reach the crash site and identify and confirm the status of the pilot. And we are extremely grateful for their efforts. The pilot was located just shortly after nightfall. Recovery efforts for the pilot from this remote location where he was found is continuing this morning. Out of respect for his family, we are withholding the release of the pilot's name until all of the immediate family members can be identified. And I can tell you we were working on this diligently last night. We have staff with all of the identified family members and are continuing to work on that outreach. And once we know and have permission from the family and we've confirmed that notifications have been made, we will make sure to get that additional information out to you. What I can tell you about the pilot is he was a veteran DynCorp International pilot under contract to CAL FIRE, been flying for us for over 13 years. And we treat our pilots, although it's a contract, it is a seamless operation, and we treat those pilots just as though, and they are firefighters, just as though they were CAL FIRE firefighters. Again, we've been engaged with his family since the incident occurred late yesterday afternoon, and we will continue to support his family through this difficult process. In addition to supporting the pilot's family and the fire service family as a whole, because this affects the entire firefighting community when we have this tragic loss, we will be cooperating with the National Transportation Safety Board and other members of the investigation as that critical piece goes forward. Specifically, I again wish to thank the Yosemite National Park, the National Park Service as a whole, the United States Forest Service, the California Highway Patrol, the Mariposa County Sheriff's Office, and the many, many other cooperators and the community members here. This pilot died serving the state, serving his community, and protecting the lives and property in and around the community of Foresta. We are, again, forever grateful for the support that we have been receiving here at this difficult time. So thank you.
So we'll go ahead and open it up to any questions that you might have. Like I said, more specifics on the fire itself afterwards. Gary will be available outside for one-on-one interviews. But yeah, we'll start here.
I was wondering if someone could give us a description of what the crews that were going to rescue were going and the report that they had when they got to the scene of what they discovered. The condition of the aircraft and whatever else they feel comfortable sharing.
Michael, are you here? Michael, do you want to give a quick account of the search and rescue effort and also what they saw at the site? Michael, let me just do this very quickly. Michael, the search and rescue crew works for Michael Stansberry. He is the Deputy Chief Ranger at Yosemite National Park, and we'll give you a few details of what occurred, but that site, our crews left this morning at 7 o'clock. They hope to recover. There'll be 2 or 3 hours of investigation done on scene so we can document everything, and then the body will be removed at 10 o'clock. But do you want to give any details about the spread of the plane crash? Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. My name again is Michael Stansberry, Deputy Chief Ranger here at Yosemite. Last night, after the plane crashed, we had several units in different areas of the park that converged to try to get rescue efforts started. Several units were coming. Two individuals were coming from the uphill side, from Foresta, as well as several were coming from 140 from the highway. The crash site was almost a quarter-mile long, so please understand, because of the terrain and the amount of debris, it was very difficult to get in there safely. Not only because of the amount of wreckage and the type of terrain, but also because there was active fire in the area. So our folks worked as hard as they could to get in and establish at least that we had some kind of effort to help if we could, and found that we could finally get to and confirm where the pilot was at nightfall. The pilot was near the wreckage, yes.
Can you describe the conditions at the time of the crash?
All right, you've been listening to the update from members of the park rangers there at Yosemite, as well as CAL FIRE, giving details on the crash and the firefight. We have learned that the pilot that died was a 13-year veteran. He had a contract with CAL FIRE. They're not releasing his name yet, as they are still letting his family know about the tragic accident here. NTSB continues their investigation as well.
Sad.